I think today we were to talk about the ongoing energy renaissance here in the United States.
Unbelievable.
Can you give us a little background on what that means to you when you hear energy renaissance?
Well, I know what it is, and it is a renaissance in this country because I've been in the industry so long that I've seen all the ups and downs for the last 60 years. When we got to the 70s and the oil embargo that was imposed on us by the OPEC countries, we really truly believed we were now in the grips of a declining oil production in the United States. We got down to 4 million barrels a day, 4.5, I believe. And we had produced in 1970 10 million barrels a day. So here we were, OPEC countries had the oil, we were declining, and what are we going to do about it? We moved in to the Mideast. Our Fifth Fleet has been there for years and years, and we have protected oil. And the way it's turned out, the renaissance in America, is that our industry did a fabulous job of finding, developing oil and gas in the United States. So now we've found ourselves the only country in the world that is increasing reserves, and daily production is going up for us. Most of the rest of the world is declining.
And so what does that translate into for the American public?
As you go forward, I don't see, there's going to be some run up in gasoline prices, nor do I see a big decline. I think it's a pretty stable, sustainable market is what you're looking at to the consumer for gasoline.
And so when you have prices that much lower than the rest of the world, what does that do for jobs and manufacturing base and taxes paid and that type?
Well, you already have industries moving back into the United States. I mean, that's happening every day because of the cheapest energy in the world is the United States. Who would have ever believed that was going to happen? Well, it did. And so we can offset higher cost of labor with lower energy costs compared to the rest of the world.
It's manufacturing and it's chemicals and fertilizer and metals and all kinds of things that 5 years ago it would have sounded crazy to say you're going to build new plants here. It's millions of jobs though over time.
Well, that's exactly what's going to happen. The economy, the recovery of the economy in the last 5 years, you can look at oil and gas. The cost of energy in America has been a great part of the recovery.
I think there's some people out there who are thinking to themselves, is this a short-term phenomenon? I mean, do you feel like this is something that has got longevity to it, that could be around for 10 or 20 years?
Well, in the past, the reason why it was a short-term phenomenon is because you found a big oil field, example, Prudhoe Bay, and it goes on production. It goes on production and builds up to 2 million barrels a day. That was a great help to the United States. But then it declines and you haven't replaced it. One that has to be addressed at some point is the Alaska pipeline. I mean, we're down now to about 500,000 or 600,000 barrels a day in that pipeline. It needs to be oil in Alaska. You need to develop oil in Alaska, fill up the pipeline again, because the 2 million barrels a day is important one more time to us. But in the meantime, the lower 48 have done a very, very good job of finding oil, putting oil on production. We're back up. We're about 8 or 9 million barrels, I think, now. And that is sustainable because of horizontal drilling and fracking. The biggest gas field in the world will probably be the Marcellus, which extends from Pennsylvania down West Virginia and eastern Ohio. And that, that's gas, but there's a lot of liquids in that gas. So what you find yourself is you can't believe the treasure trove of natural resources, oil and gas, that the United States has. Yes, 20, 30, maybe 50 years. You'll be producing natural gas out of the Marcellus 100 years from now.